PA's classic rock. I got needing some peace and quiet. I understand that. But this, definite overreaction. It's Prospector Show on Rock 107. Good morning, I'm Prospector.
Good morning, I'm Kate. A West Scranton man pointed a gun at a girl's head when she and some friends tried to knock on his door and run away, according to city police.
You're a grown man. In your response to some kids knocking on your doors, pull a gun? Like, look, buddy, if you react like that to Ding Dong Ditch, what do you do when you get a telemarketer car? Go down and kick down the store at the Verizon door? I need a duel. Let's go.
The 12-year-old girl told police the afternoon of March 7th she was playing Ding Dong Ditch with some friends.
Which I didn't even know kids still played. In the day of Ring doorbells, God love you, kids.
Her friend knocked on the door in the 400 block of 14th Avenue, and they ran away. As they did, two men, Robert Francis Ulrich and his son Daniel Ulrich, came out, and Robert Ulrich, 56, grabbed her and put a handgun to her head.
It's like this guy's auditioning for the next season of Dateline or something like that. What's wrong with you?
The men made her walk to nearby West Scranton Intermediate School and asked if she wanted to die, according to the complaint. One of the men told the girl he was from Canada and, quote, all these kids want a bullet in their head, before the girl ran away.
Like somehow that makes it like less terrifying or more terrifying. Hey, kid, I'm not a lunatic. I'm a friendly neighborhood Canadian with a gun to your head. I don't understand what the Canada part had to do with it.
Yeah, I don't know what that has to do with anything.
Yeah.
He was arraigned on felony charges of kidnapping and unlawful restraint of a minor, as well as charges of simple assault, terroristic threats, recklessly endangering another person, and harassment. He was taken to Lackawanna County Prison, unable to post $100,000 bail.
So what's the lesson here? For the kids, maybe don't ding-dong ditch strangers, but I don't think that's the real lesson. More importantly, for the supposed adults, do not hold children at gunpoint because your Ring doorbell woke you up and hurt your little feeling.
Breaking the news that's already broken. It's time for Prospector's Briefs on Rock 107.
Will Smith is recording a new album. It'll be the first thing he's dropped in 2 decades, other than Chris Rock. Forever 21 filed for bankruptcy. Oh, I get it. Forever is sarcastic. Gisele Bundchen was spotted in public with her newborn son. The kid's name hasn't been revealed yet. Gisele mostly calls him by his nickname, Revenge.
Making sure breaking news stays broken. Tune in tomorrow for Prospector's Briefs on Rock 107. Rock 107.
It's a problem we all face the day after St. Patrick's Day. What to do with your slightly used leprechaun.
Top of the morning to you.
After all, you can't just abandon him by the curb. He's not a mattress. Introducing Little, the Leprechaun Intensive Technical Training for Life enterprise. At Little, we prepare your leprechaun for jobs tailor-made for someone who's a foot tall, like cleaning beneath sofas, fixing a clogged garbage disposal, taking your chihuahua for rides, assembling iPhones, test driving Barbie's dream car, and of course, becoming the new star of the Mission Impossible movies.
I do my own stunts.
Little, because a tiny, adorable drunk is a terrible thing to waste.
Rock 107 on a 2 for Tuesday. Soon to be battling out versus Guns N' Roses in Rock 107's Mount Rockmore here on the Prospector Show. But I think that's tomorrow or Thursday.
I don't remember. But today's Eagles versus Beatles.
Yeah.
And the Red Hot Chili Peppers versus Pearl Jam.
Let's see if we can get updated totals by refreshing the Rock 107 page. The Eagles, 55%. Beatles, 45%. A little shock there as that got really close in the last half hour or so. Red Hot Chili Peppers, 72%. Pearl Jam, 28%. Pearl Jam catching up, but Chili Peppers had a big lead on that one.
I know. This has been... it goes back and forth and back and forth. I'm really enjoying this.
So all you got to do to vote is look for us on our social media. If you go to Facebook.com for Rock 107, for Angry Prospector, for Kate, it's there. If you go to Rock107.com, it gets a little dicier because for some reason it will not let me put it on the main page. I've tried and tried for the last 2 days, but if you click Prospector and scroll down, then you'll see Mount Rockmore and you can vote there.
We promise that it's there.
It is there. People are voting.
Yeah,
all the time.
And all I've done all morning is refresh the Rock 107 page.
Just refresh.
Because it's the Beatles and the Eagles has been so interesting to watch.
Okay, so it keeps going back and forth.
Yeah,
I told you that was going to tighten up. So you got about 1 hour, 54 minutes or so left to vote. 10 o'clock a.m. we close the voting down, move people on in the bracket. Eventually we'll whittle them down to 4 of the biggest bands of all time, and we'll put them on our Mount Rockmore. So go and vote now.
Yeah.
He's quirky and cranky, and that makes for a lot of awkward interactions.
What a jerk.
Help Prospector learn from his mistakes. It's time for Am I a Jerk? On Rock 107.
All right, I'm at a fast food place on Sunday. There's a grandmother there with two kids, girls, 4 and 6 years old. They're loud, they're kind of bratty, but it's not a big deal until they get to the Coke Freestyle machine, and now the 6-year-old wants to pour her own soda, which I understand, but she can't reach, so she's stretching, and she's keeping hitting the wrong buttons, and she's getting frustrated. So now Grandma holds her up so she can reach, but she's still having issues, and she somehow changed the language to Spanish, and she can't understand it. What does it say, Grandma? I can't read that. Now there's a line forming. So Grandma tries to pour the drink for her, but the kid starts yelling, I want to do it. So she's back to holding her up, and I'm 3 deep in line for a soda when I finally say, hey, I'll give your grandkid $1 if I can pour a soda and get home before midnight. So I ask you, does that make me a jerk?
I'm saying yes, Prospector. It does make you a jerk. You need to learn a little patience, my man.
I don't know about that. Texting in on the rock lines at 1-888-ROCK-107. No, you were definitely not. When there's a line of people, if they want so bad for the kid to pour the drink, you should go to the back of the line and wait your turn for that.
All right.
Okay, good enough. Let's find out what people are saying on the rock lines here. Rock 107, am I a jerk?
What are you, 13 years old? You're getting mad waiting in line for your mango lime Coke? Drink Diet Coke like a grown-up, Prospector.
Now, oddly enough, it was vanilla Coke Zero. Is that grown up enough or no?
Oh, Coke Zero's, that's grown up enough. I thought you were going to mix one of those weird flavors like you were a kid or a millennial or something.
No, but you're still saying I should have been a little more patient? Is that where you're getting at?
Yeah, just a little more patient around little kids.
All right, so kind of a jerk today.
Kinda.
Kind of a jerk. I'm going to take that.
Kind of. That was just a brutal phone call overall.
There's a lot to dissect there that he wanted to rip me for.
Linda from her Facebook said, you're not a jerk. The grandmother could have gotten the drinks, especially with the line forming. The kids couldn't even reach it.
That's what I'm saying. This is not, look, and I get it. You want to teach your kids to do things for themselves. They want to do things for themselves. Not when other people have to wait on you. That's all I'm saying.
Carrie Ann from our TikTok said, no, I take my 5-year-old niece out for lunch occasionally. She knows it's rude to keep others waiting in line. If she acts like that, we will leave.
I would do a slower clap, but I'm just too impatient.
Yeah.
On to open mic on the Rock 107 app. Am I a jerk?
He's not a jerk on this one. Well, maybe not totally a jerk, but maybe a tiny, tiny bit. But
I'm going to take it as not a jerk because he said it first. So there you go. Not a
Between the
jerk.
lines. Ryan from Ear Twitter said, no, you're not a jerk. You're a hero. You offered a solution that got everyone moving while throwing in $1 as a peace offering. That's more patience than I would have had.
There you go. See? I'm a magnanimous individual here.
All right, pipe down. Nicole from your Instagram said, yeah, let this woman teach her grandkids how to be independent. Have a heart. Maybe waiting saved you from an accident.
Maybe waiting gets me into an accident later. Butterfly effect BS. I don't buy that crap. Let's go to the rock lines. Rock 107. Am I a jerk?
After you got done yelling at that little kid, did you go out and get in a fight with her in the jungle gym too? Kids like to do stuff like that.
I get that kids like to do stuff like that. Grandparents and parents are supposed to teach them to wait until everybody else has their stuff, then go back in line and do stuff like that.
No, you gotta have a little patience. They're kids. They like stuff like that.
Yeah, kids like to play with matches too. Parents and grandparents are supposed to not let them do stuff that's stupid.
Oh, my goodness. Well, Kevin from your Facebook said, absolutely not. Only do kids not have respect anymore. The grandmother should have respect for other people as well. No, you're not a jerk.
All right, so in the question today of am I a jerk for being impatient, as some people are putting it, in the line while the 6-year-old kid tried to use the freestyle Coke machine and Grandma kept helping her as the line got deeper and deeper and finally offering her $1 so I could pour a soda and get home before midnight. The answer is, according to you, Northeast PA, and slightly, and I mean by the slimmest of margins, no, I am not a jerk.
Life's pretty tough right now. There's plenty of bad news, but it's not all bad. It's time for the brighter side of Prospector on Rock 107.
A company in Las Vegas helped rescue a young cat stranded on the side of an overpass for 3 weeks. Helix Electric hires out electricians. The CEO's daughter got him to send a boom lift to get someone up high enough to grab the cat. They used 2 nets to catch the cat and got him to a vet. He was dehydrated and very thin, but otherwise okay. They paid tribute to the company by naming him Helix.
Thanks. We needed that. The brighter side of Prospector on Rock 107. Ladies and gentlemen, grab the kids, call your neighbors, and gather around the radio.
It's now time to announce the winner of Prospector's Jam Bag of the Day, as decided by you at rock107.com.
We uncover the most baffling, ridiculous, pathetic, cockeyed, laughable, preposterous blunders in the world of misdeeds. Nominee number 1.
There are a number of frustrating things about how we do things in America, but how would you feel if we had a system like this? A driver in Switzerland was fined nearly $110,000 for driving too close to the vehicle in front of him. You probably see people tailgating all the time. Maybe you even do it. So you might be thinking, with a fine that extreme, he must have been right on the other car's bumper. But no. Reports say the guy was traveling 40 feet behind the other vehicle. No specific definition for tailgating is given in Switzerland, but the officer said the offender appeared to be stuck to the other car enough for it to be reckless. The $110,000 amount wasn't juiced up based on the severity. In Switzerland, fines are based on your taxable income to ensure a rich person feels the punishment just as much as someone who makes minimum wage. This driver was apparently a millionaire lawyer, so the fine was hefty. This happened a few months ago, but the guy's been fighting it in court. The good news and bad news for him, the ticket was upheld, but the fine is suspended, meaning he won't have to pay as long as he avoids committing another offense within the next 2 years. But he did spend about $14,500 fighting the case in court, and he's on the hook for those court fees.
Nominee number 2.
You ever hear of people leaving something behind at school? A lunchbox, a jacket, maybe a kid who wouldn't stop talking about Minecraft? 29-year-old Connor Shelton McCulley, who we can assume is not winning any Stepdad of the Year awards, was dropping his girlfriend's kid at school, and along with the child, he also dropped a bag of meth. An employee spotted the suspicious baggie on the floor and immediately turned it over to the school resource officer. The cops tested it, and surprise, surprise, it was methamphetamine. Then they checked the security footage and saw our boy McCulley reaching for his cell phone and accidentally dropping the baggie. A warrant was issued, and deputies arrested McCulley a few days later, charging him with possession of methamphetamine, possession of a controlled substance on school grounds, and reckless conduct.
And the winner is...
the guy who dropped a bag of meth while dropping a kid off at elementary school. You're the Yam Bag of the Day, and we'll move on to Friday's Yam Bag of the Week competition. Keep it here for all the nominees for Prospector's Yam Bag of the Day, weekday mornings on Rock 107.